England through to the European Championship finals once again. Yes, people, what is going on? Subscribe if you are new around here. Let's get straight into this game. The Netherlands 1, England 2. I haven't done a video for the last couple of games, but we've seen the same sort of thing over and over and over again. But the first half performance was the sort of thing that I just cried out for this tournament. It was actually not brilliant. It was bloody good. It was very, very good for exactly what we needed. Now, let's give credit where it's due, right? Now, everyone knows my opinions of Dutch football. I absolutely adore it. I'm a big Vitesse Arnhem fan. I love Ajax. I spent time watching PSV Eindhoven and Feyenoord. I went to Feyenoord, went to a couple of games over there. The Dutch supporters will be absolutely gutted at the moment. And I think they've been brilliant all tournament. They weren't good in the group. Let's not lie to ourselves. They did come third. But when they've needed to put their foot into the game, they have. And let's be honest, from where they were in the group to now make a semi-final and be the last team from that group, which involved Austria, that everyone were blown out the water by. Everyone thought they were fantastic. The former world champions, France, and then them. They were considered the third best team in that group, and they have lasted the longest. I know it's the same round as France, but it was heartbreaking to a certain point to see the Dutch go out in that sort of fashion. Now, I just want to give that credit where it is due to the Dutch, who I think are fantastic people. It's not their best team they've had. I was speaking to a Dutch guy literally 2 weeks ago who said this is not our football at the moment, but they've done incredibly well. Now, let's move on to England. Having said what I've said about the Dutch, and this isn't their best team, we still needed to go and get a result, and we have done that. This is only the second time in the tournament we have won a game in 90 minutes. Which is baffling, absolutely baffling. And the reason why we won this game, we went forward. We went forward when it mattered. Now, the first half performance I thought was blistering at times. I thought that we were poor at certain areas. The goal that we gave away was so avoidable. It was so avoidable. And, I mean, you could say, is Pickford slightly unsighted? I would argue if his arms are a little bit longer, maybe he gets a tip onto the bar or something like that. It's all hypothetical. It is what it is. The goal went in. It is definitely avoidable, but we moved forward because we had to respond. We had no other option but to respond at that stage. This is essentially FA Cup football. This is the sort of competition that English football is built on, that anyone can beat anyone on their day. Now, early doors, 7 minutes into the game, we're 1-0 down. I'll be honest with you, the pub I was sitting in went silent. Went absolutely silent. And that was quite alarming, actually, because I sort of expected England to come out and... a lot of people say we play better against the bigger nations, the ones that actually want to come out and play and all that sort of stuff. And I would slightly agree with that. But we haven't beaten them. And that was the thing that we now needed to do. We didn't need to score once, we needed to score twice, or at least keep ourselves in the game to then send it to penalties or something like that, which we don't want to be doing as England, as a nation, because let's be honest, the squad we've got is very good, but it's very good on paper. We actually haven't seen a lot of people play. The substitutions are quite samey. We're seeing the same faces. People are playing a lot of minutes. I will say this very quickly. Jude Bellingham is knackered. He is absolutely knackered, very much like I am at the moment. He is so tired, and it's very obvious. I was seething at Southgate when he took Foden off and not Bellingham. Bellingham is a big game player. That's what we all know him as. I mean, he scored goals in El Clasicos. He's been great in the Champions League. But he's a big game player, and he needed to step up to the plate, and I don't think he did tonight. And I do think that is because he is tired, and I do think that's because he's been overused. Again, phenomenal player, but we want to get the best out of people, and Bellingham is not one of the people we're getting him out of. However, slip over to the other side. Phil Foden was absolutely magic in that first half. You could see he was up for it. He was riled. Everything was... it felt like everything had to go through him or Saka, but let's focus on him for the moment. I mean, he was just like a man possessed. He was like a rabid dog. He just wanted to just go. And you could see the one he had off the post, the one that was a very decent stop by the keeper, to be fair, the bending sort of the left-footed shot, and then the one where he dribbled through, and he was lucky to get the shot off, to be fair, but that's not necessarily his fault, cleared off the line. He could have very easily had 3 goals in the first half, and that's not even an overstatement. Like, it genuinely could have happened. But he, in the second half, massively faded off. It was always going to happen at some point. Also due to the fact that Luke Shaw's come on, who can now spread the ball out that little bit more. But Bellingham in this game, I didn't think did enough down that sort of left-hand side. It's very obvious that they want to be able to occupy the same space. Phil Foden, because he is left-footed, is a little bit happier to go out on that right-hand side and then come in and really start to get involved with the play, which is where we really see him not do wonders at City. He doesn't often come into that role, but when he does, he's so dangerous. It's just because they've got so many people, City, that can do that same sort of thing and occupy those same sort of spaces. But just brilliant from Phil Foden tonight. Honestly, I was gutted again when he came off, but let's use him for the final. Let's get that same rabid dog energy out of Phil Foden and let's really just go for it in this final because we're going to need to against Spain. Now, let's just go on to our first goal. The Dutch, why I say I think the Dutch will be very disappointed to go out in the way that they did. Obviously, the last minute winner is one thing. I don't think it was a penalty. I don't. I think I can see how it gets given. But bearing in mind, Kane got the shot off. He clearly made contact with the ball, sent it over the bar. It is what it is. I think that they are unfortunate, the Dutch, to get that decision that goes against them. Now, having said that, they were not brilliant either in terms of going forward and creating chances. And a lot of the ones that they did create, we sort of gifted them, which is alarming. And I think if we do that against Spain, we will be absolutely battered. I don't want the people in the pubs singing it's coming home and all that stuff. And of course, you get carried away into it. But I mean, this is a big task that we now got to go up against in Spain. A huge task. I do think the Dutch were unlucky with the penalty. The last minute winner is obviously it's just the stuff of dreams. But I'm going to talk about the goal in just a little moment. But I want to talk about Harry Kane, who is clearly not fit enough to wear an England shirt anymore. That's how it seems to me. We all know he's got moments of magic in his locker, and we are waiting for one of those moments of magic. Yes, he scored the penalty. How many of his goals in an England shirt have been penalties? How many of them have been against nations that are a little bit lesser, shall we say? This is a big game player in Harry Kane, what we've seen at Tottenham down the years. And it's just not really happened for him at certain times. But now in this tournament, you can clearly see he is a completely different player from when he left the Premier League last season to now where he is in the Bundesliga. The league is very different. He wants to drop deep. He wants to try and get people in behind. But people know the attacking dominance that England can have if they get it right. And they don't want to go and leave massive gaps in behind. So Kane dropping so deep literally plays into the hands of whatever defence we're going up against. So when we bring on Cole Palmer and Ollie Watkins, again, I was annoyed that Phil Foden was the one that was going off, but I'm happy Cole Palmer was coming on because we did need something different. I would have probably changed Bellingham, but that's a different matter. The ball in behind is class, but the finish is just everything you want from a centre forward. Ollie Watkins, I stand by it. I think he's one of the best Premier League strikers in the Premier League. I would argue he's got potential, a little bit more arrogance, a little bit of cockiness, probably playing for a bigger club. He could be one of the best centre forwards in the world. And I know that's a very big statement and it's slightly adrenaline because of the fact that we've won. But if you watch Ollie Watkins on a regular basis, he has got so many different types of finish in his locker and he can do it in a heartbeat. I have a lot of time for Ollie Watkins. I wanted Chelsea to sign him. I really like this kid. I think he's absolutely superb. And he's gone about his career the hard way. He's literally come through. I think it might have been every single Football League stage he's played in. He's definitely played in 3 of the 4. But he is just different gear. He is honestly different gear. And the turn to be able to just hit it back across the goalkeeper, the thing that we needed to do when Kane was on the pitch, he was taking these shots, but they were from a distance. The keeper, I mean, he's absolutely hammering them. The keeper has to deal with it, and it is alarming, and that's fine. But I was in France just after the 2018 World Cup, and I asked a French barman, I've said this before, did you fear England? They went, no, we don't fear England, but we did fear Harry Kane because he scores goals. He scores goals, he scores goals, he scores goals. And again, literally playing so deep plays into every opposition's hands because they do want to keep Kane away from goal. Now, a lot of people would have been going, oh, great, we've dealt with Kane, brilliant. If they didn't know about Ollie Watkins, they do now. They do now because he's literally, I don't know if it was one shot, one goal, but it felt like it was one shot, one goal. I mean, he genuinely did everything right in that turn. And obviously, of course, he scored. But the precision to get it in that bottom corner from that angle is just superb. And I will stand by it. And I know it's a big statement. I would bench Harry Kane for the final, and I would play Ollie Watkins. I just don't think Kane has got it in him to go up against Aymeric Laporte and co. I just don't think he's got it. He's going to want to come in deeper, and he's probably going to end up playing against Rodri, and I just think he gets done by pretty much anyone that's standing by him. He looks tired. Everyone looks, a lot of people in this England team look tired, but that's also down to Southgate making changes so late. Now, people will go, it's tactical, it's this, it's that, it's the other, whatever. It's still impacting England. That's the main thing. Yes, we're getting results and we've gone through a penalty shootout, 5 out of 5 penalties. Brilliant. I couldn't tell you the last time England did that. I don't know if we've ever done it. I'll be honest with you. You know, that's a great feat. You know, we come from behind very quickly against Slovakia. You know, these moments are great. Fine. That's all right. But to go and win a tournament like this, you need to be able to dominate a game. And now we looked at the Spain-France game yesterday. Look at that game yesterday. And the best defensive team in the tournament, France, who I think conceded maybe 2 goals from open play, something like that. They maybe didn't actually concede a goal from open play. I remember this conceded the penalty. I can't remember the other one. Either way, best defensive record in the tournament lost to the best attacking record in the tournament. The Dutch, I think, were second, and we've just beaten them. You have to go toe-for-toe attacking these teams. You have to. That's the way you're going to win tournaments. I mean, you look at the World Cup final, 18 months ago, whatever it was now. You know, it's 2 attacking teams that are going for it. 3-3 in a World Cup final is madness. It's absolutely madness. But that's the way that football is going. If you want to win a league, let's talk about defence, because we're 38 games. We're going to have a long period of time. We're talking about 7. You need to go and win games. And to win games, you score goals. To score goals, you have to attack. You have to be on the front foot and put the impetus on your players to go and have moments of magic and wear a team down. But what England are doing at the moment, there's a lot of backwards, sideways passing, fine. I do think there is a problem slightly in central midfield. I thought we were very good at times. When they moved the third man in, we got popped. I thought at times, Mainu is brilliant. I love that kid. He is going to go so many places. I really like him. Man United fans, consider yourself very lucky. Declan Rice, I think, there's room for improvement for Declan Rice. And a couple of times when he gives the ball away, it's there's not that instant response and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, again, if you want to be on the front foot, let's see the best versions of these players. Let's see them going forward and causing problems. If we don't allow Spain out of their half, I'm sure they'll get on the counter-attack against us. But when you've got Mark Gahey and Carl Walker with the pace to go backwards and try and defend, you're always going to give yourself a chance. You always are. Cody Gakpo was top goal scorer at this tournament, shut down tonight, didn't really see anything of him. And that was largely due to the fact that anything pace-wise, he came forward and he had opportunities, but the pace that we had was pretty much dealt with him. I'm not saying he's a complete pace merchant. Maybe it wasn't his night, needed a little bit more link-up play from other players around him. That's a different matter. But we have got the ability to stop teams from scoring goals. That's fine. You need to go and win this game. And everything that we love about this performance was when we were on the front foot, when Phil Foden was literally driving and dragging people along with him, going, no, we're going to go on the front foot and win this game. We're going to get back into it. He was a man possessed, as I've said before. He was a joke, but we need everyone in this team to pull their weight. And I don't think Harry Kane did tonight. I really don't. And I don't think Jude Bellingham did either. Now, it could be down to fitness, it could be down to fatigue, it could be down to a knock. There isn't a lot that's coming out of this England camp other than what the starting 11 is pretty much, which has pretty much been the same the whole tournament bar 1 or 2 tweaks. But realistically, we got to be looking at going and winning this tournament. You need everyone singing from the same hymn sheet, and I don't see it at the moment, which is why I would think about dropping Harry Kane. If you drop your captain, that is a massive message that anyone in this team can be taken off at any moment. That's the sort of thing that we need to have, because yes, there is a fear that needs to be there. The fear of losing. We need to want to go and win. Losing is not an option. This is the best England team I've seen in my lifetime. I've been crying out to see an England team this good, as has everyone. Of course they have. But we've been now 2 finals. We lost 1 and should have won it. We now need to go and put the impetus on ourselves to go, no, we were there three years ago. I want to say 4, but it's 3 years ago. We were there 3 years ago and that weren't good enough. We need more. We need more. We need to kick on, because this Spain team is beatable. They went behind against the French and they deserve to be behind against the French as well. The French were poor all tournament, and then all of a sudden they gave Spain a game. Now, is that because they rose to Spain's level, or is that because Spain are not, I'm not going to say not as good as everyone thinks they are, but is there an opportunity to go and beat them? I think it's the second one more than anything. England have this in the palm of their hand. It's not a given, not saying that at all. It's a final, it's 90 minutes of football, probably more knowing England. But we've got to be able to use the squad. We've got to be able to use the bench properly, make the substitutions at the right time. But when you're leaving subs so late, of course, people are going to be tired. Yes, you get fresh legs for the last 10 minutes, but it also means that these people are knackered for the majority of the game. So I will be doing a video on Sunday, win or lose. I will be doing one. If we win, I'll probably be celebrating, and it might be a bit of a delayed video, but I will still be doing a video. But it's on us. It's on us. Rise to the occasion. Ollie Watkins with his essentially one chance, one goal. That's the sort of level that we need to be at to beat Spain, who I've said right from the start of the tournament, when I was in every sweepstake, the one I wanted was Spain. I think they had a difficult run to the final, but they beat Germany with a little bit of conviction, I would say. They beat France with a little bit of conviction. They've worked hard in this tournament. It means that they are gettable. England have worked hard against lesser nations, which is very annoying. But again, the impetus is on us. If we want it, we go and get it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I will see you on Sunday, possibly Monday morning, depending on what happens. But it's on us. It's on England. And if England want it, it's there for the taking. Let's get behind everyone. Let's show the support. Let's do everything we can. Let me know what you think, because I do think 1 or 2 changes are needed, and I think the big one is Harry Kane. But we'll have to see. Let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Is football finally coming home? I don't want to say that, but it's now or never, I think.